My wife's boss gave each employee a special gift, but my wife, who basically runs the entire thing in their office, received leftovers from the catering. My wife works for a construction company owned by my uncle and dad. They do fairly well. Over the last few years, the company has averaged 15 to 20 new builds a year. My uncle is the majority owner and, according to my wife, made nearly 10 mother-in-law this year alone. My wife and I lost our house a few years ago in a wildfire, so we moved back to my hometown, and she took this job in early 2019. We live in one of the most expensive counties in California. Her job, as time goes on, she has been given more and more responsibilities and now basically runs the entire thing. She schedules everyone and everything, answers the phones, does payroll, is the accountant, does all the tax stuff, is the one that does interviews for new hires, and is hired to clean the entire office every Saturday. If it needs to be done in the office, it's probably her job. She gets paid $21 an hour but does the work of 3 people and works nonstop. We also have a 1-year-old at home, so we're constantly stressed about how much both of us need to work just to get by. Her boss is a F-King PP. He is constantly demeaning my wife. Every time my wife asks for a raise or time off, he throws a huge fit and makes her feel like a boss just for asking for a day off. Last night she had her Christmas party, and she planned the entire thing. There was a venue, catering, decorations, and company gifts to give out, all of which she planned for free on her own time because her boss said it was critical. He would call at 9 p.m. asking if catering was figured out, expecting her to answer. Once, she was putting our daughter down for bed and ignored one of his calls and he lost his mind the next morning. Back at the party, her boss gave presents to every employee, and all of the general laborers got new DeWalt power tools, like drills, impactors, and orbital palm sanders. The partners got massive checks, and some others got gift cards. Toward the end, he gave a big speech in which he addressed everyone individually and gave a little speech about why he appreciated them and how great they all were. I was waiting for my wife's name to come up, but it never did. At the end of the speech, he said, "Right, that's everyone." And I said, "What about my wife?" And he said, "Oh yeah, she's a special employee," and ended the speech. My wife's Christmas present was the leftovers from the catering. I'm not kidding, we got the leftovers. At the end of the party, my wife approached my uncle and told him she wouldn't be coming back on January 1st. She is constantly abused in that office, and it's clear her boss doesn't give a poop about the work she does. She worked non-stop this year and might have made 40K. He made almost 250x that this year and gave her the leftovers. Update: my dad is definitely an enabler. It's disappointing to me to see that my dad can watch that behavior and not say anything. I've addressed it multiple times, and nothing has changed. It's difficult to just confront someone that's family, but multiple times I've confronted my uncle about the way he treats my wife and others in the office. I've tried everything short of physically fighting him. 21 an hour may seem high, but the median household value in our area is well over one mother-in-law, so her 40K a year barely covers our rent, and my income covers everything else. We decided we're moving next year, and I'm confident she will be able to find a great job wherever we end up.